Hey everyone, this is Joe with Southeastern Frontiers, and today I'm on a short backpacking trip to the Walls of Jericho in North Alabama. And today I'm hiking with John and Jacob and their friend Thomas. The Walls of Jericho Trail, just north of Hytop, Alabama, right on the border with Tennessee, is a challenging 7.5 mile out and back trail with about 1,000-foot change in altitude. Starting at the top of the ridge, the trail descends steeply into the Hurricane Creek Valley. We selected a favorite campsite among the 8 or so sites in the valley, and then we passed the Clark Cemetery, following Turkey Creek between massive limestone cliffs to the large natural amphitheater that is the main highlight of this hike. Here you will find water flowing from a cave, and further upstream a waterfall entering the sinkhole that feeds the cave. After exploring the amphitheater area, we returned to our campsite for the evening. The next morning we retraced our steps, hiking 1,000 feet back up to the parking area on the top of the ridge. The Walls of Jericho are as beautiful as any trek through the Smoky Mountains, but be prepared for a strenuous day of hiking. Bring plenty of water or a way to filter the water from the creek, and take your time. All right, here we are in the trailhead for the Walls of Jericho. Heading out. All right, the trail's off this way.
Is it like a heating thing? Or?
We are following the red blazes today. It is a steep descent, but this is the easy direction. Coming back out of here, it's quite a climb. All right, we got a small creek crossing here where the water just comes right out of the mountain over there. It's been a lot of rain lately, so we're expecting to see a ton of water on this trail. There's the water running right down the trail. All along this trail, there are sinkholes. And this is a good example of one, where water runs in but doesn't come out up here anywhere. Some parts of this descent are pretty rocky, so make sure you have a good pair of shoes. It could be rough. Though people have helpfully put in steps in a few places, like right here. That's cool.
Look at here.
Yeah, lots of fossils in this rock. Yeah, there is a nice print there of something spread out. It looks kind of like a leaf.
Yeah.
But there's certainly crinid fossils here. A nice big, bigger fossil. I don't know if that's a bivalve or something. All right, here is the big sinkhole along this trail. And it's right along the trail. You can't miss it. Down it goes.
Oh, you're going into the cave?
Yeah.
It's going.
I got it. Oh wow. Yeah, no, and there's a ton of rooms in the back. But the further down you go, the muddier it gets. And you can find some really cool looking lizards, like neon orange.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a living formation.
Stalactite. Meaning?
You know those? Holy smokes!
Living as in it's just currently growing?
Like growing, yes. Yeah, that's not enough.
Oh. Here. Can I get back going?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
I'm gonna try not to die.
Wow. Whoa, look at the formations up top.
I know.
Whoa, it's like proper stalagmites.
That's what I said.
Whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, once we get into far enough, it should dry. Theoretically.
Water cricket, or whatever they're called.
Oh, yeah? Oh, look, yeah. Wait, it's blind, so it won't even really react all that much. Yeah, it's
Look at its antennas. This thing's like
because
4 inches long.
for feeling. Yeah, it actually uses radio waves.
Whoa.
Yeah, it uses small electronic signals, and they act like radio waves, so it's actually can sense us right now. That's why it's angling towards us. Because based on, it can feel your, yeah. Oh, look at that.
What?
Look at that wall. Yeah. Here.
Does it open up back there?
Yeah, like you'll go through and open up into a smaller room. You know, this is the biggest room.
Is it wet still, or is it drier back there?
It's like muddy
It's like
still.
mud. It's like regular cave mud.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to take this light, Jake, so you can see? Or if John get... I don't particularly like crawling through small holes.
Right here. Oh yeah. Here.
See, I told you, it's pretty neat in there, isn't it?
Okay, there's that.
Hold on. I don't think it's that big.
Let me go through first. You have the light. What about here?
Fair enough.
No, it's. Never mind. It's pretty big, but it's like really, really muddy. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For scale.
And then I can hold that for you while you can...
Wow.
If you just want to shine it like
Here, let me get out of your way first.
relatively.
I don't know about you, but the rock formations are creepy to me. There's something about creepy being in a cave.
I'm not really creeped out necessarily, and the only reason I'm not is because when you get into something like this, like there's nothing in here. You know what I mean?
I can tell you that it's capped because we've seen so many things. In
Well,
here.
like there is stuff, but I mean like
Nothing
like,
that's gonna hurt
yeah,
you.
like there's bugs. Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't like bugs.
Look at this.
Wash your head.
Look at this. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, see? It's really neat back
Oh, look at this. That's a full column.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah, so shine your light towards this one. That's a column. And shine it that way. Because that's another column. Much bigger.
Yeah, just shine it on
Shine
me.
it down that hole right there.
Shine it towards me as well. Just get a video.
Alright, good. You, John?
John wants to be the center of attention.
Hey, actually, let's get all of us in here and we'll take like a selfie.
Okay.
Yeah, just shine it backwards. Yeah.
Look at the red dot.
Hell yeah.
I told you it was a cool cave.
That's a cool ass cave.
Here's what's
Yeah, I'll
shiny.
turn it down intensity. There we go.
You see there's water droplets on the cave wall.
Wait, is that, Jake, is that a snail to your left hand?
No, this.
That's a ball.
No.
It's a ball of something. So yeah, very cool.
That's probably would show them too.
That's what you want.
Tiny
Okay.
little details.
Hold on. All right, everyone. All right, guys, we're headed up towards the light. All right.
It takes a while in the dark. Man, it's so much hotter out here. I'm gonna go back in, just hang out for a few hours.
Oh, I'm glad to be out though.
Yeah, it's very muddy and very moist.
Oh yeah.
All right, we can see the river below us. We're almost to the bottom. We've reached the bottom of the canyon, the river flowing here in front of us. And the sign here says Walls of Jericho is this way. And shortly we'll go over a really cool bridge. So the boys tell me this new bridge, which is very new, wasn't here the last time I was here, is made entirely out of plastic. It is, look at that. Or composite anyway. Fascinating. Even the beams across the bottom are. That is wild. Well, that's cool.
The brackets are metal, but...
And the bolts, but yeah. Very cool.
I wonder if there's a central structural beam.
Man, did they make the sides tall enough? Well, that's cool. Found a worm, huh?
Did you hear us raving about the bridge is plastic?
Yes, I did. All right, so we have... Oh, and look at, there's a breakwater.
Oh, it's to prevent the column from washing out.
Yep. So here's one of those new bridges. And we just... a nicely engineered bridge, a huge concrete pier, a breakwater over there for when this is flooded.
You know, sometimes this is straight up dry.
Absolutely. I've probably never actually seen water here before.
You want to go take a picture of the cemetery since it's October, you know?
We will. We gotta find our campsite first.
Looks like it'll be real hard.
Oh, John hasn't seen my saw.
So the trail to the Walls of Jericho is off that way. And we're gonna go this way and pick out a campsite. Looks like there's plenty available. Yeah, it looks like somebody burned our old sitting log. That's not very nice of them.
Oh yeah, there's one, and I have a seat.
All right, we have found our campsite. This is where we're gonna set up, I think. The creek is right over there, so water is very handy. So let's get the campsite set up and then we'll go on to the Walls of Jericho. All right, we are heading out of camp. So time to go to the Walls of Jericho. This is the Clark Cemetery, right along the edge here. And we're going to be hiking up along the stream. So we are entering into the canyon now, hiking up right along the creek over here. We will be following it until we can't go any further. It feels like a remote mountain stream, doesn't it? That's quite the water slide. All right, I just walked across the water after switching into water shoes. The boys are going to take a swim. I think it's a little cold for that. Hey, Thomas, you got that? There you go. Woohoo! Wow! That's cool. Woo! This is the Walls of Jericho. Limestone cliffs that climb way up high, a natural amphitheater with water pouring out of the cave. There's a good view of the water that's pouring out of the cave up there. Jacob's going to try to make a water slide out of it. Woo!
Nice.
Water coming out everywhere. Yeah, even on our heads from above, that's right. Well, I definitely recommend water shoes for coming up here this time of year.
Yeah, just vault yourself. Yeah, there we go.
Keep going. Whew. So we just climbed up from down there, which is where you saw Dad, and now we are headed this way. Ugh. We're headed this way. There's lots of holes where water sits. And if you see up there, there's a big old waterfall. Big old waterfall. Whew. Wow.
Oh. It's supposed to be empty all the way down to the bottom. Look at that.
Wow. It's very cool.
All right, say goodbye to the amphitheater. We are heading back to camp.
You know,
Woohoo! We made it back to camp. Time to make some supper. This is the stream by our campsite. And right down here, I'm cooking dessert for later tonight. Jonathan's getting the fire going. We found a nice piece of dry red cedar, so that ought to burn nicely. So Thomas has a little wood-fired solo stove here that he's heating his water up with.
It's like so
Tonight I'm trying beef chili mac, and I'm using the Peak Refuel, I bet, yeah. I'm using the Peak Refuel beef chili mac tonight. We'll see how that goes. I've never had it before. All right, here's my chili mac. If I can get a light in there. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty tasty. That's not bad. Good stuff. This is the remnants of our dessert tonight. I forgot to film it while we were all just chowing down on it. This is one of my favorite desserts to take when we're backpacking. It is Jell-O brand cheesecake mix, which isn't cheesecake at all. It's basically a pudding that tastes like cheesecake, and then you put a little ground up graham cracker on it, and it is amazing.
That's cool.
Good morning. It is day 2, and we had a lovely night last night. The weather was beautiful. The sky is clear. There's a little bit of haze here in the valley, but it looks like it'll be nice as soon as the sun crests the ridge. Jacob and Thomas are trying out the throwing knives that Thomas brought. Woo! Woo! Yeah!
Wow, you got it on camera. It's the one time that matters.
All right, we are all packed up and we are heading out. Time to start that ginormous climb up the big mountain back to the parking area. We'll see you on the way up.
6 inches taller than me.
And at some points I had my head down. So. That's probably what had like stuff in it too. Oh.
All right, we go off to the right here.
Hazy still.
Yep.
It was quite hazy this morning on the drone footage. Especially up where we're going. See?
Yes, we are going all the way up there to the top of that ridge. And we start by crossing this first bridge. We just noticed that this is one seriously hollowed out tree.
Is there a new tree?
And it's still alive. Wild. We are coming upon the second bridge now, which is cool, but unfortunately what that means is it's all uphill from here.
Oh, there was another water break on this side.
Yes, there's a water break over here also to keep the pier from eroding away, because sometimes this valley floods and the water's super deep. All right, we're going to leave the river behind back here and starting up the trail. It says Alabama Trailhead is up there. And as Jacob just said, this is the last resting heart rate we'll have. The trail also goes off this way. That'll take you to the Tennessee trailhead. You can cross the Tennessee border a mile or so up that way. So it is uphill now, so off we go. All right, we are back up to that small sinkhole that we passed on the way in. That means we're about halfway up. Whoo-wee! Ways to go yet. Resting here by a little babbling brook. About 3/4 of the way to the top. I think we are getting close to the top now. I can hear cars driving down the highway up there. All right, we have completed the elevation gain. And there's the parking area. Woohoo! All right, we are back at the trailhead. That is quite the climb. Do not underestimate that one. Whew. But we made it. Thanks for coming along with us today.